Good afternoon, this is Dennis with the Active Trend Traders. Welcome to the Aftermarket Monday. This is a quick review of what's going on in the market on Mondays. It's fast, furious, and we spent about 10 to 15 minutes. Got some really good stocks that are setting up for tomorrow, and we'll take a look at the indexes also. I want to remind everybody that all the materials we do present are for training purposes only, and that traders should always paper trade any new method prior to the risk of their own personal capital. The objective of the Aftermarket Monday is to, one, provide timely, actionable intel at the beginning of each week for active trend traders, and I'll provide a general setup. The actual setups go to the premium members, specifying exactly where I'm getting in, getting out of a particular entity. And so we'll look at stocks, ETFs, and then anything else we have left at the end of the time frame. I want to remind you, have patience, stand back, respect the rhythm of the market. So I'll get to the good stuff first. Stocks, ETFs setting up. Nugget Dust, that's the combo 3-time leverage ETF that we're utilizing for the gold miners. I've added to that JNUG thanks to Eric. He showed me these last week, and I really like them. They trade with a huge amount of volume on a daily basis. They're a little bit less costly. They move more, so position size correctly if you're going to do JNUG or JDust. That's JNUG or JDST. Stocks that are setting up that look kind of interesting this week. Tesla. Tesla is the gift that keeps on giving. NetEase, AEIS, WB, Momo, NVIDIA, NVDA, SBGI, PRA, Anthem, ATHM, and Beat. Those are setting up. Look like they're worth watching through the rest of the week, along with the indexes themselves. Let's take a real quick look at the indexes and see what they did today. Here we go. Here's the S&P. I drew these lines in here a little bit earlier. As we can see, S&P is in a short-term downtrend. It rolled down to the bottom of its channel, downtrending channel this morning. Actually opened up below the 50-day moving average and then rebounded through most of the day, getting back up into this resistance layer made by these past lows. And as we see, if you're following the whole moving averages, as you see, we get a green candle above a red dot. That's indicative that there may be some additional upside. What's the expectation for this market? I mean, we could roll all the way back up into this upper channel and then turn over and go back down and retest. What's the big thing that didn't happen on Friday? Well, they did not vote on health care, and so that kind of puts everything not necessarily in hold, but indecisive and questioning by the market. What's going to happen with the tax potential tax break and that type of thing? And so all of those could have impacts on the growth of the economy going forward. We'll see what takes place there. I'll point out a couple of things. One, we got the TSI, down lower reversal. Can it get lower than this? Yes, it can. We like it where it's down around 50 because then it tends to be, that's where a bounce support area tends to be. We still have the market forecast pointing down on a daily basis, while the shorter term momentums have turned back up. Longer term momentum pointing down. Other things that we have that are working potentially towards a little bit more of a better pullback. One, your TSI on a weekly basis has rolled over. Momentum has rolled over, and momentum on the longer term market forecast is also rolled over. So we could be just seeing a nice little slip slide down here. This bearish engulfing that showed up last week on the S&P is still in effect, indicating that we potentially could anticipate additional downside with this index. What's the other index we watch? We watch the NASDAQ. NASDAQ was quite interesting today. As you can see, it too, green candle above a red ball. That's indicative that we may be going back up to test up near some of these old highs. We have on this one, TSI on a daily basis crossing up. So it has ticked up. So if you're looking to trade one of the indexes to the upside, perhaps the index ETF QQQ or TQQQ would be a good trade for this. But just watch this. We did undercut this swing low here, but this has not turned into a downtrend, a short-term downtrend as of yet. TSI weekly, momentum weekly, and the longer-term momentum on the market forecast pointing down on a weekly basis. And so kind of a mixed bag and not really giving us a lot of indication. But if I was trading the upside, I look at TQQ or QQQ to the upside. Russell, same. Russell was very interesting today. Russell basically opened here, fell hard right off the get-go, dropped down here to pass support at the 1335 level, and then rebounded, spent most of the day rebounding. What are some of the things that we're looking for? Is one, it came right back up and is almost back up to the 8-day moving average. Recognize it is down below the 50-day moving average. TSI started to tick up. Momentum on a daily basis still pointing down with momentum on a weekly basis, and also on the TSI, and the momentum, longer-term momentum on the market forecast is also pointing down. Okay. So you want to, if you're looking at these, take a look at these, the three tracking indexes that we follow, and then compare the candlesticks that you see and the patterns you see here to the patterns you see on the IWM, the spiders. And so the Russell also working within a price channel, about right there. So this captured most of it. And so let's see if how it works its way back up. Again, remember, we've got downtrending resistance, downtrending support. We get a bounce there this morning, and we'll see if what this does. You know, not really. I mean, yes, this is a downtrend of about 3 days. We get a hammer, push back up, and so we're just kind of fluctuating here. We'll see what happens if it hits the 8-day moving average tomorrow, and see if that acts as, in fact acts as divergence. Yep, whoever pointed out, yes, we do have a little bit of positive divergence on the TSI on a daily basis. From here, that takes these lows, lower low here, positive divergence here. So let's take a look at some of the stocks that we're looking at. Tesla. Tesla just continued to push higher today. Basically got up into this resistance area about 265. Looked like it was going to push a little bit higher, got up to 268, 267, and it looked like it was going to roll over on a daily chart, on a weekly, correction, on an intraday chart. And it started to. We went ahead and sold some positions against that for the strategy 3, and it has pushed on higher today. If it moves any, basically past where its high of today is, I'll be out of that position ASAP. WB. Just about average volume today. Nice close. It had a close above the red ball on Friday, and a nice follow through today. Now it is back up above all the moving averages, and so we may be pushing on. What's the expected move if it moves all the way to the top? Well, you get about 13% move if it moves back up to these past highs. How am I going to trade this tomorrow? I would look for a potential pullback into the midsection here, or down to about 50 bucks. And if it pulls back to that level, I'll look at the intraday for a potential bounce and move higher. Now, if it breaks away here, I would have no problem buying that move higher and just hanging on. I would, if I bought that move higher, I would probably put my stop down around the midsection of the candle or below the 8-day moving average. Sorry. What else we got going on here? Momo. Similar type move today. It's been consolidating. It has held up extremely well. Considering the pullback in the market. It pulled back much less than. Got a good volume spike today. Again, we had a green candle above the red ball a couple of days ago. This was a nice follow-through day. Notice the TSI has rolled back up and started, and so we'll see if it takes out these highs. But anywhere between the 8-day and current level would be a good place for a potential buy. Okay, let's NVDA. Okay, on one of my earlier charts, I had NVDA with a nice little trend line across here. As you can see, I don't want that. A trend line across these highs. There we go. So that trend line is still in effect. You get an increase in volume as it springs off of the 50. If it breaks out, then we're probably moving higher, perhaps all the way back up to the past high of about 120. Look at NVDA for a couple of different things. One is you can look at it for option trades and or just buying the stock by itself. As we can see on the weekly chart, TSI is just turning up off the zero line, which works as support. Momentum just came above the zero line. And the longer term momentum on the market forecast is starting to turn up slightly. So this looks good. What else? Like I said, there was a bunch. PRA, did I cover that one already? Okay, this one's already broke out of its past. Look for a retest back down here around the $61.48 to $62 range. For potential entry into this trade. Huge volume on the breakout, and so that's a good thing. And so we don't have to buy the breakout. We can wait for, 70% of all stocks do pull back into around where it broke out. So well worth keeping your eye on PRA. What's PRA stand for anyway? Oh, PRA Health Services. So you must have liked not having SBGI. That's a good looking pattern right there. We get the TSI starting to move up. Volume came up a little bit today. Very nice looking pattern. You can play it for either a pullback to the midsection of the candle or a breakout above it. It has moved above both the 8 and the 20. And if it rolls back on up to its past high, you're probably looking at about a 7 to 8% gain, about a 6, almost 7. And so that looks SBGI looks pretty good. I will probably put out an alert on that along with WB this evening. And so I've got a couple more to cover with you. If you're an option trader, you can always go to NetEase. Again, NetEase, green candle closing above the red ball. However, it shows us where the sellers did come in. So the sellers are coming in at resistance of about 292, push the prices back down. It is turning up a little bit of negative on the TSI on the weekly chart. And last but not least, I think I have covered all of these, is BEAT. BEAT. Again, BEAT broke out a little bit today, And so look for any type of a retracement back into the $28 down to about $27.50. Real strong volume on the breakout. Okay, Dorothy, I missed which one you're talking about. Does it need to fill the gap? Which of the stocks? That must have been the last stock. What was the last stock? NetEase? This gap? Okay. Yeah, I mean, typically, yes, things typically do fill the gaps. However, it doesn't have to fill it right away. I mean, this may be filled a year from now. So it doesn't have to come all the way down into that. This is a whole area here from between 280 down to 265 is a level of support. And so how are we doing? Okay, guys, I'll take a look at one, which is UCO. Yeah, Eric, I was looking at oil a little bit earlier today. UCO looks kind of like it is finding support. We get but it's had several of these fake outs where you get a green body above a red ball and then it is falling back down. So I would like, if you're going to be looking at this, I would like to see this green line here on the momentum on the market forecast start to turn back up, and this is kind of just barely gradually going up. Always compare UCO to USO in case we see any earlier signs. As you can see, it hasn't turned here, and on the weekly charts we have not turned back up yet. It is still pointing down. However, we are in a level of support. So with that, let's take a real quick look at Dust and Nugget. Nugget is right at the 50-day moving average and is holding. Look for any type of pullback back into the 820. It's just the 8 is just about ready to cross the 20, and the one that went with that would be JNUG. We should see something very, very similar. Not quite the same. And then if you want to have a really good idea on that, just GDX, which is the actual gold miner index, and you see it is above the 50, so that's very positive. And if we get a breakout above this level, we're probably going from up to the 24 level all the way up to the 25.50 level perhaps. And so then you translate that over to what you see with either Nugget Dust, JDust, or JNUG. Okay, that I went 2 minutes over. I'm calling it a day. If you guys have any questions, please send me an email. I hope you found, give you a couple of trading ideas for the week. Like I said, some of these stocks were looking pretty good, especially WB, SBGI. That they may provide us some opportunities this week, especially if the market continues with its rebound. Okay, God bless everybody. We'll talk to you later. Thanks for joining us today. Oh, last thing I will mention, just if you are not a member of Active Trend Trading, I welcome you to become a member. This webinar special will end on April 1st. It will not be repeated for quite a long time. And after April 1st, our regular membership on a monthly basis is going up. And so if we ever do another special, it will not be as, the specials in the future will be about $45, the regular membership, and we provide about $300 worth of services every month. The regular membership is going to $74.99. So, okay guys, have a great rest of the day. God bless everybody.